Hi students, and welcome to Go Math Module 8 Lesson 3. Today we are looking at day 3 of percent and solving these percent problems. So today we're really going to focus on how we use percent and percentages in real life. Okay, so our first problem here, I'm sure you see the word sales tax right away. Yes, we pay sales tax on pretty much everything that we buy with a few exceptions. So you will see the problems that we're doing today in real life. Okay, let's look at our first problem. The sales tax on a new computer that costs $350 is $22.75. What is the sales tax rate? Now, sales tax rate is a percentage. So we're in California, so our sales tax rate is, I think it's 7.75%. In most businesses, they round up to 8. So just say 8% tax in California. So let's see what the tax rate is for this specific problem because we don't know what state they're in. We need to solve. The sales tax on a new computer is $350. That costs $350 is $22.75. What is the sales tax rate? Okay, let's use part over whole. Equals percent over 100 because we know the entire computer cost $350 and we know that part of that was the sales tax, the $22.75, and our question is asking us what percent or what sales tax rate. So let's go ahead and start plugging in the numbers that we can. Okay, so our part is going to be $22.75, and we are talking in terms of dollars, but I don't need to write down the dollar sign because I'm going to multiply anyway. And then my whole is $350. And I'm searching for my percent, so that's going to be my X over 100. Okay, here's my proportion. Now I do have a decimal, and that's totally fine. Just remember when you're plugging this into your calculator, please account for that decimal. Make sure you actually put it into your calculator. We have 350 times x, which gives us 350x. And on the other side, we have 2275 times 100, which gives us 2,275. If you saw the trick there, multiplying times 100, move the decimal 2 places to the left. If you saw that trick, excellent. If you didn't see it, put it in your calculator. That's what you have a calculator for. Okay. Now we're going to finish our problem by dividing by the number next to the x. So we're dividing by 350 to get that to cancel. Divide by 350. Now that's obviously a big number, so please use your calculator to ensure you get the correct answer. 2,275 divided by 350 gives us x equals 6.5. And yes, it's okay to have a decimal. But our original problem was asking us for percent, the sales tax rate. So I need to finish my answer with a percent sign, 6.5%. That 0.5 tells us a half. We could read the problem 6 and a half. So if I wanted to write this out in a full and complete sentence, I could say the sales tax rate was 6.5 and my percentage symbol. Now make sure you really do make that decimal big so it doesn't say 65%. It says 6.5. All right, let's look at our next problem. Another real life problem going on here. In a survey, 32% of students liked blue Italian ice over red. In total, 89 students chose blue ice. How many students took the survey? So in this problem, we're looking for how many students as a whole took the survey, and part of those students responded that they like blue ice better. Okay, so we have our part being the students who requested or they enjoy the blue ice more. That's our part. So go ahead and label that 89 as our part. Now for our percent, we have a number with a percentage sign next to it. So that is a dead giveaway that we're going to be using that number for our percent. Now our final question asks us, how many students took the survey? Well, this sounds like it was a survey given to maybe the entire school. So that's going to be our whole. Think like the whole school, the whole student body, everyone. Okay, we start out every problem the Miss Janke way by writing out what we plan to do, and that is to use is over of equals percent over 100 or part over whole equals percent over 100. As you read through this problem, hopefully you determined that the better scenario, the better formula to use in this particular problem is the part over whole. So let's go ahead and use that method to plug in our given numbers. So we have our part, which is 89. Our whole we don't know yet. We don't know how many students took the survey, but we do know our percentage was 32% and our constant number 100. Hopefully we are getting to the point where these are becoming easier for us. We're recognizing our part and our whole, and we're able just to go through the motions on our calculator. Dividing by the number next to the x. X equals 278.12. Now, something that we need to realize, well, in this survey, we are talking about people who took this survey. Can you have 12 hundredths of a person? No. You can't have 12 hundredths of a person. So we are going to instead round. So we are going to round down to x equals 278 students. And I highly recommend in the side, in the margin there, you write what you did there. So when we put it in our calculator, we got 278.12, but then we realized, in this problem we're talking about students, we can't have part of a student. A decimal is part of a number. So we can't have part of a student, so we need to round down. 278 students. We're going to look at one more focus problem with an extension on it, so you can kind of see what a two-part problem will look like using our part over whole method. This problem says yesterday Kaylee sent 300 text messages. She said 20% were to her best friend. How many texts did Kaylee send to her best friend? Another real life problem. I hope you're not sending 300 text messages in a day though, because that is a lot of text messages. So she sent 300 text messages over the course of the entire day or whatever the time period was. So this is going to be our whole. And she said that 20% were to her best friend. Okay, so we see the percentage sign in the 20, and we know that has to be our percent. Wow, that was a wonky percentage sign. And we want to know the part. So how many of that 300 texts did Kaylee send just to her best friend? No one else, just to her best friend. And we don't know it yet, so it's going to be our x. Okay, let's go ahead and set up the problem. Do part over whole. I'm writing it again. You'll see me write it every single time. Oops, I wrote x equals percent over 100. Okay, let's plug it in. And if you're able to work ahead, go ahead and start working. At this point, you should be able to talk me through the problem. 6,000 divided by 100, x equals 60. So how many texts did Kaylee send to her best friend? Kaylee sent 60 texts. Okay, now as we're working through these, I really hope that they are feeling easier for you, that you are feeling more confident in the part over whole method, the is over of method, and how to plug these numbers into the formulas that you are given. Let's extend this problem one step further. So we know Kaylee sent 60 texts to her friends. How many did she, to her best friend, how many texts did Kaylee send to other people? Okay, well, we know she did 60, 300 total, 60 to best friend. I'm abbreviating that to BFF. We need to solve this problem by using subtraction to see how many did she send to other people. So do subtraction and then find your number for how many texts to other people. Subtracting that out, hopefully you got, she did 240 texts to other people other than her best friend. All right, students, this has been 8.3, day 3, solving percent problems with some real life application. I hope you enjoyed Module 8, Lesson 3.